Line for his starting position. Kyle Busch will be on his inside. It's an elimination race, the final race of the round of 16. Green flags in the air.
Welcome everyone to the Incredicast podcast post-race Apache Warrior 400. Kyle Busch tames the Monster Mile at Dover. And another interesting thing happening this weekend was the playoffs in round 1 comes to an end. And Dr. Reliant D will talk to you about who was in and who was out.
Well, yes. Round 1 has just come to a close this past race at Dover, and in first place, a huge shock that we haven't talked about at all. In first place, leading the points is Martin Truex Jr. Couldn't have seen that one coming, right?
Whoa, he's on a tear recently. I didn't expect that.
Who knew? Second place is Kyle Busch.
Whoa.
After the first half of the season, he really didn't do well in the first half of the season, and then he just started going off. He's got 4 wins now, currently, correct?
Yes.
Total. Here.
All of them have been on this podcast.
Yes. Crazy for him. In third place is the 42 of Kyle Larson. In fourth place is the 2 of Brad Keselowski. In fifth, the 48 of Jimbo Johnson. In sixth place, the 4 car of Kevin Harvick. In seventh place, the 11 car of Danny Hamlin. And in the 8th place, which I was surprised to see Ricky Stenhouse Jr. come up so much. He's now placed in 8th. I'm not sure if
it goes by playoff
penalties. Okay.
They reset. It's like it's weird. It's like you can get a penalty, and then next round, oh, you're back. Who cares about those that you lost? You're going back again. It's stupid.
NASCAR's format changes over time, and it doesn't change for the better. But yeah, Stenhouse, who was on the verge of being out of the playoffs last week, he's now in 8th. Total
he's now
sense.
Beating Matt Kenseth. So
total sense was just made. In 9th place is the 21 of Ryan Blaney. In 10th, the 24 of Chase Elliott, who has no idea how to win a race. Hashtag I need a win before I go to the 9.
Hashtag to the front.
Here comes the 18 on the outside. Chase Elliott trying to hold on the bottom. The momentum on the high side. Kyle Busch is going to pass him for the lead.
In 11th place is Matt Kenseth, and the last car who is in the playoffs is the 1 car of Jamie Mack. Which is talking real quick about Jamie. I was really surprised how no one even talked about him during this past race at Dover. No one even spoke about him.
Yeah, I think it's his first round 2, I believe, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
He's tried so many freaking times. Now he's got another monster with round 2. Yeah.
Well.
But I just saw how unfair these playoffs are. Matt Kenseth was like 5th or 6th in the standings before Dover. Now they're like, okay, you're down to 11th.
Yeah, like what are playoff points, and how come the playoff points don't reset, but your points that you accumulate during the previous round, they do reset? So your progress resets from last week. However, your progress from 5-6 months ago that you don't even remember doing stays the same. Really, NASCAR?
How it
really?
Should work, though, it's like first round is your regular season playoff points. Second round, the playoff points from the first round go over to the next round. Second round to the third, and the third round is just to get into Homestead. You know.
No. We need stages with playoff points with stages.
Because a guy could win every single race in the regular season and then just kind of wreck every race after that and be like, okay, here's your Homestead trophy. So it's really messed up.
Pretty much.
And they need to change it for next year, I believe, to where it at least resets per round. At least. That's what I thought would
hopefully.
happen. Yeah. Because Truex...
It should happen that way, but...
Basically, you get a penalty. It doesn't mean anything. As long as you make it to the next round, oh, it resets.
Yeah, and the 78 and the 18 are like 2 seasons ahead of the rest of the field points-wise anyway, so what does it matter to them, you know?
Which the thing is, if we have different winners, that's not the 18 or the 78, only one of them's getting into Homestead, so...
Yeah, exactly. But,
so what good does playoff points actually do?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
So I guess rewinding back to Sunday morning, getting home from church, you turn on your TV to watch amazing racing. So you turn it to the F1 race.
Yes. Yes, and you see Max Verstappen actually got his 3rd career win in Malaysia. That was a great race. But, you know, we are subjects of Brian France. Send help. You can call us at... but
1-800-945-600.
But yes, so in stage 1...
stage 1 was amazing. Like, it was like Truex in the lead, Larson in the lead. Truex comes back to take the lead. Dale Jr. makes his way up to 3rd, and Kevin Harvick battles for the win, or not the win, but the stage win. But then, then Mr. Jeffrey Earnhardt, you know, decides he wants to go spinning in the barrels.
The best driver out there, who you can't blame him for his incidents because he's a really good driver. He's proven himself to be a championship driver.
With a career best finish of 39th.
Oh, that's Jeffrey. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about Dale Sr. Yeah, I don't know why Jeffrey Earnhardt still races, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, it's his purpose. It's his purpose in going out there, and...
It's to promote Hulu.
Yes, because Hulu needs Jeffrey Earnhardt.
They want a driver that can run in 39th.
No, but really, like, what's his purpose of being out there? I remember when he was a starting park, and I was like, yeah, you know, that's, you know, he goes out there and collects a check for 5 laps and then comes back, you know, good for him, but he's actually racing now, and he's causing problems just like all the other, you know,
yeah,
rear-end people that no one talk about.
That's when it would actually help you more if you just get out of your seat and just wait for a better ride. If you can't run that well in the 33, you know. But, like, because of that caution, it single-handedly took out so many people's playoff chances. Like, the 3 of Austin Dillon and the 5 of Casey Kane. Kurt Busch tried to rally back, and he just couldn't, you know. And it really helped the 18 of Kyle Busch. He was running, like, 15th all day.
Yeah.
And then then when Jeffrey Earnhardt wrecked and he was staying out while green flag pit stops happened, half the field's now a lap down trying to get their lap back, and now the guy that sucked all race is now finishing 2nd in a stage, and now he's somehow amazing. So
yeah. Yeah, and we saw it a lot ever since 2014, and it seems to be the little loose string or broken chain of Stenhouse Racing is their pit crew. Whoever is pitting the 4 car is going to have a bad day. Even at KHI, Kevin Harvick Incorporated, he always had problems with pit crews. I have no clue what his deal is. It's not his fault. It's not his fault at all. But it's just the pit crews that he's assigned. They have these little issues that cost him races and stages.
Nail.
In races at Darlington, we saw he got pole and was leading, and then they have 2 problems in a row on 2 pit stops in a row, and that just happens. And we saw that this past Sunday.
Yeah, if you're going to beat the 18 to 78, especially at Charlotte, you need to have a good pit crew, or at least a good day. You know,
flawless pit crew, really.
Flawless, yeah.
To beat those guys, yeah.
Yeah. Stage 2, though, Larson decides he wants to lead a little bit, says Brad Keselowski, get out of my way, and leads, I think, every lap. But, you know, I kind of fell asleep in that stage. So
yes. There were all but 4 laps that the 42 did not lead in stage 2, which we forgot to mention. But the pile driver move that Jeffrey Earnhardt caused. The 2 car won stage 1 because of that, which for Brad Keselowski, that's really good. He needs those stage points and the playoff points, you know, for that. But in stage 2, it really was the Larson show.
Yeah. There was another caution in stage 2. I think it was Reed Sorensen, but you know, I don't really keep up with the drivers that run in the 30s, so I believe it was Reed Sorensen. All I know, it was a black car, and it was smoking, and this is a non-smoking zone. But yeah,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Larson basically dominates stage 2, and yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to say that a key theme of this race actually was that Stenhouse in the 17 and the 31 of Ryan Newman, they fought for a long time over points during the entire race. It even came down to the very end, which we're going to discuss later. But I give it up to the 31 for being able all year to stay close to a guy who has 2 wins.
Yeah.
Stenhouse has 2 wins. He got into the playoffs, and on points wise, he almost lost to the 31. So to Newman, who is known very well for being consistent enough on points, good for him this year.
Yeah. But Larson would have won the race, I believe, if he did not make the mistake of trying to shut off his engine and it did not come back on. That's something he needs to really figure out, especially at Homestead.
Yeah, I think he called up Marcus Ambrose about how do you lose a race. And Marcus, so he decided...
You know, I'm pretty dominant today, and I don't think that's pretty good for the fans. I think they'll actually click off if I win this race.
You know, so we should turn off the engine when you're going uphill. Yes, sounds good.
I can just imagine Marcus Ambrose going, yeah, mate, you just turn off the engine.
Going uphill.
While you go uphill.
Because gravity really helps you a lot when you go uphill. But yeah, for the
well, there's actually like this one road in Australia. If you turn off your car, it actually rolls uphill. So I think he did that. Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe.
Yeah, Dover's just like that, man.
Exactly. Some hope though for fans of Chevrolet who are not saddled onto the 42 bandwagon. The 24 car of Chase Elliott looked really fast in stage 3. Even in stage 2, he was doing pretty well, but stage 3 especially.
Yeah, I think a lot of Chevrolets and Fords. I think Stewart-Haas is catching up to them. I'm not too sure about Penske, but I do know that Larson is there. 24 is there. Jimmy ran really good too. So
yeah,
it may be just a Dover thing, but which it could as well be. But I think people will be giving these 18 and 78 boys a pretty good fight for this championship. Hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Which, I mean, if they win it in a fair fight, I wouldn't mind. It's just watching them just kind of cruise around and win all these stages and win the championship. I mean, it'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, which is why the Brickyard is on a top, two currently this year of our favorite races.
Yeah.
To watch, that is.
Favorite podcast by far, though.
Oh yeah. However, this Sunday at Dover, it came down very close to a good finish. The 18 car, he worked his way through the traffic a lot better than the 24 did, and he caught Chase Elliott and he passed him to win the race. I do think though that a key ingredient of that was the 31 of Ryan Newman, who was trying to stay on the lead lap and being 2 points out of the chase or playoffs. I'm so sorry, Brian France. Don't hunt me down. Being 2 points out of the playoffs behind the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., he fought very hard for something that did not matter.
Yeah, it's like if you would have got past caution come out, you're going to be the free pass.
Exactly.
So
first car lap down.
I would understand if he was ahead of Stenhouse by 1 point, and then here's these guys come up. I would
being
understand.
ahead is one thing. Yeah, being ahead is one thing. Being behind by 2 cars is.
And those other 2 cars are like non-existent anymore.
Exactly, and they were far away. They were 2 seconds ahead, I believe, from him. So knowing Newman, I could have seen him cause a caution. I think he should have did that because that could have actually helped him. Cause a caution, wreck one of those lap cars that doesn't mean anything. But seriously though, he had no reason to try and hold up the 24 that much.
I think he was just like, oh, I'm so pissed off I'm not getting in these playoffs. I'll hold him up.
He really had no reason because it didn't help him or hurt him.
I know. Which, I mean, Kyle might have still would have won, but it would have just been better racing overall if side by side to the finish. That would have been cool. This Dover race had a lot of potential to be the best race of the season. Really, But Jeffrey Earnhardt and Ryan Newman, they're like, no, we don't want a good race. So,
which,
yeah,
I don't know.
This week's Incredicast award goes to Ryan Newman.
Ryan Newman, who Kyle Petty commented on his quote, lack of a neck.
Yeah, he said when he gets mad, the neck really disappears.
Some people wonder why Kyle Petty is my mascot.
That's why.
Please do not wonder anymore.
Yeah, Kyle Petty also tweeted, we got to make a segment on our podcast, like, okay, keeping up with Petty. So Petty is now an Uber driver, so if you're in the Charlotte area and you want to
run away.
If you want to see our smiling face, Kyle Petty,
oh my,
you can have him on Uber, and if you do, tell him about our podcast. Okay, do it.
But yeah, this is win number 4 for the 18 of Kyle Busch. I mean, his car is fast everywhere we go. So is the 78. So I'm not surprised he won. I will say though that I wish that lap cars could stop getting in the way of actual racing.
Yeah.
Top 10. Positions.
No, like 30 to go or something. I would say, yeah, okay, hold your position if you want.
Yeah.
But
which I hope this clip, I hope it goes on the damn lap cars segment of the one YouTuber who does those videos because those are hilarious.
NASCAR Nixon, I believe.
Yes,
Yeah.
NASCAR Nixon. Shout out to NASCAR Nixon.
Go subscribe to him. He's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, but those damn lap cars. Which even Jeff Gordon thinks those damn lap cars need to get out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeff Gordon after the race, while Ryan Newman was doing his interviews, Jeff Gordon said, "Thanks for the help." And so Ryan Newman goes over there and goes, "What the hell you say?"
No, because really, I mean, in the 24 is going to advance next round, no matter what. The 31, there is no hope for him. Even if a caution comes out, like, it's hard to state it enough. Like, I know we keep, especially me, I keep saying it, but you can't state it enough. Even if he got lapped, there would be no difference. Caution and no caution, no difference. So,
with 2 laps to go, with the overtime line, it's basically over.
exactly. I don't even think that a lot of people would have pit if there came out a caution because you would have had guys like the 41 and the 5 that would have tried and stayed out, but would have, could have, should have for Dover playoff race 2017.
Dover would have been so good, but the main overall thing of the race was basically those damn lap cars. Thank you. That's basically all about this race. Before we get into Charlotte, we do want to mention the passing of Robert Yates and like just prayers to his family. And it's probably hard on them, on everybody. So if you want, please write some comments down below saying nice things about him or the family, and hopefully they'll see it if they ever watch the podcast. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah, Robert Yates was an incredible engine builder and an incredible car owner. I don't know if a lot of the people who watch Incredicast can go back a while in NASCAR history, but for a while they had Robert Yates Racing, and you had these 2 Ford teams. You had Yates and Roush that were fighting very hard, and the engines at Yates were always a whole lot better, and they won the 1999 championship with Dale Jarrett. He won races with Dale Waltrip, Dale Jarrett, Davey Allison. He almost won the championship in 1992. Incredible car owner, incredible engine builder, with Roush Yates Racing.
He was a pretty nice guy too, so it's pretty sad. Yeah. So
our thoughts for sure go to the Yates family and everyone a part of Roush Yates, and to he was a great man, great old-fashioned NASCAR guy. He will certainly be missed in the garage area.
Which something that happened, they recently interviewed him at the Hall of Fame. I'm not sure when it was, but he said that he was glad he got to see it while he was still alive.
Yeah.
It was like, I think it was the last interview he ever did. I'm not sure, but that's pretty something,
Yeah. Yeah, which, good for him. Good for him,
Yeah. I'm glad they did all the Darlington stuff for him, too. I'm pretty sure it helped him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and Danica had the championship-winning car that Dale Jarrett drove for his team, that whole paint scheme.
Yeah.
Throwback at Darlington. But, as we previously stated, how the playoff standings are, going into this new round of Charlotte, Kansas, and also Dega, correct? Those 3 tracks round 2. Who do you think are going to be the 4 drivers that they will not survive this round?
Well, I know Jamie McMurray for a fact. Unfortunately for him, if you barely get out of one stage, you're basically going to have to win another one. unless it was just some like freak accident that happened to you at a race. Let me pull up the standings here, just so I can know who everybody is. I do know for a fact that Jamie McMurray is out, and it's going to be a really tight one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because how it currently stands, Stenhouse holds the cutoff position. He can advance right now as it is. He's in P8. He has a 2-point lead over Ryan Blaney, and Blaney has a 2-point lead over Chase Elliott, who has a 1-point lead over Matt Kenseth, who has a 2-point lead over Jamie McMurray. So from the cutoff position to Jamie Mack right now is only 7 points. I know we haven't had any races yet in this round.
Yeah.
But even still, it's close. I feel like this round is going to be a lot closer than what we saw at Dover.
Oh, yeah. But, we saw the 4 have a lot of speed at Chicagoland, and that might show again at Charlotte. And,
yeah.
Don't know if it'll be enough for the 78 and the 18, but I think it'll be good enough for him to advance, at least. Kenseth may be out. It really depends on how he runs. And Blaney, I think if he doesn't get a win, he's out pretty much. And Stenhouse, if he doesn't win, he's out. So that's pretty much how it runs.
Yeah.
Which Stenhouse has Dega.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Which this Dega race is going to be Dale Jr.'s last ever race at Talladega. He's a 6-time winner there. 6 wins at Talladega. He is second all time there. His father is the only man who ever won there more than him, 10 wins at Talladega. So it would be very interesting to see if he can get his last win of his career, first win of the year there at Talladega.
Yeah, wouldn't it be something to be able to talk about that on the podcast though? Like,
yeah,
it's just like history that we get to cover. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
All right, now it is time for our Charlotte picks. We're going to let Dr. Light D go first.
Well, thank you. Well, we talked about before at Chicago. We talked about him at Dover. If his pit crew can stop being his pit crew and actually work and function correctly like they know how to do, they're really good band of guys, then the Ford car can win at Charlotte. I'm going to pick the Ford car of Kevin Harvick. He's out for blood. He really is. Sonoma is his only win of this year, and the Ford car team has come so very close so many times, and just pit road penalties, problems on pit road, crashes that he didn't cause, just hampered him. So yeah, I pick for Charlotte this coming weekend. It's going to be the 4 of Kevin Harvick.
Which I really hope you're right, since I'm going to this race. Would be cool to see it. This one's been hard to pick for me. I'm going to go with the 24. Almost won at Dover. And I believe that team's going to pick up and get some notes from Chad Knaus and Jimmy Johnson.
Say help. Please help. Please, we need you, Chad.
And Chase is like, we want one win at least in the 24. Well, let's get our first win at Charlotte just like the 24. So that's why I'm going to pick the 24.
Okay, yeah. It very well could happen. That 24 team has been very strong at mile and a half. So is the 4 team. So
yeah.
Not bad picks off. But I would like to say is that I wouldn't be too surprised if the 78, the 18, or the 42 won either way. So
yeah. Which, you know, I really hope that we get one podcast where we get to talk about our guy, you know. we try.
What's really funny, you know, what's really funny is that Sonoma, Kevin Harvick's only win of the season was the very last race in the season before we started this podcast, but
we missed it and was like, oh, we'll get more.
But I mean, hey, if you're a Toyota fan, if you're a 78 or Kyle Busch fan, you're having a great year. You can definitely win at Charlotte. You can win anywhere. So yeah,
you can win anywhere you want. You know, just pick.
Yeah, no, really.
Yeah.
Truex is so dominant everywhere.
Which, I mean, we're not ever going to bash Kyle Busch on here unless he does something really stupid, you know, which is
common for him, I will say.
We just bashed him.
It's very common. It's not him, it's his character.
Yeah. And
his character is poor, to say the least. But anyway.
Which, I mean, he is a good driver. It's just...
Fantastic driver.
Fantastic
driver.
Truex is also a fantastic driver. All the Gibbs drivers are fantastic. It's just we're tired of seeing them in victory lane and get them out. Which we've only done one Ford podcast, so let's stay hopeful we can get one, you know. just for our sanity, you know.
Could happen. It really could happen. So
which the next podcast before we sign off, it will have some videos from like the in-person live race, you know. I will take some of them. I'm not going to do like the entire race, just like maybe like the victory lap or something. That would be cool, you know.
Yeah.
Not going to do a vlog on it or anything. It's just because it's really hard to do that at a racetrack. Unless you got pit passes, but
yeah,
this podcast isn't popular enough to do that.
NASCAR racetrack too. I don't think NASCAR fans, you know, in the stands would appreciate you vlogging.
Official will come up there and tap me on the shoulder. Hey, stop.
Not here, can't have that.
You know what this is,
kid? But one last thing before we sign off. Our thoughts and prayers to the Yates family, and our thoughts and prayers, of course, to all of the people affected from the mass shooting in Las Vegas. Yeah, it's, you know, it's a horrible world that we live in. That you can't even go to a concert.
Yeah.
You know, in Manchester or you know, in Las Vegas. So that stinks.
Which one thing?
Thoughts and prayers are with you.
Yeah, prayers with everyone and everyone affected. I really wish this podcast was big enough to make like big donations. You know, that would be something I wish we could get to doing. You know, give everyone a chance to give. You know, when tragedies like this happen, because unfortunately they're going to happen again. It would be cool to have the community to, you know,
to rally with us.
And, you know, it would be cool. And I wish we could, but unfortunately we can't really give too much. But our prayers is what we're going to have to give. You know? And sometimes that's the best thing that you can have, really. It's just thoughts and prayers, you know.
Oh, yeah. But
anyways, join us next time for the Charlotte podcast. Dr. Reliant D thinks Harvick will be on the cover. I think Chase will be on the cover. Come back and see which one of us was right. We'll see you then. And this is the Incredicast podcast.